Gary Lineker says there's 2 gay players he knows.
I've seen what Gary Lineker said. Like I've seen a headline about him talking about that he knows of 2 gay. Why does he know?
I don't know. Have they confided in him, or has someone else told him?
I don't know. That's what I first thought. I thought, why do you know?
What's he say? Know of or knows?
Knows.
Are they meant to be Premier League footballers?
Yeah, 2 Premier League. He says he knows 2 gay Premier League footballers.
Because this issue has been brought up before, like the rumours that there's a gay footballer, and everybody names a group of players. It was always Sol Campbell was one, Ashley Cole was always one, Matthew Upson was one, Graham Lasso.
Yeah,
I've heard Adam Lallana mentioned before as well. But like, there's got to be a few, hasn't there?
There must be. Yeah, there absolutely must be.
I don't understand why it's still in this day and age. There's not one that's actually like more than one Premier League player or something that's actually come out, because they'd be like the first one to come out. It's going to be like an icon.
Gary Lineker said the first one would be a hero,
an absolute hero,
and there's shit.
There's fucking money to be made from that as well. It's not like it would be. And you know what? Like there might be a bit of crowd saying a few things, but that'd soon wear off.
Gary Lineker again said, like, it's easy for me to say, but like the crowd will sing anything about you, like worse stuff than that. You know, like if they were,
they'll sing it about you, like, even if you're not, won't they? So it's not like exactly. It's not. They say that sing things like that anyway. So it's not like it's gonna like really. I just don't. I think
the
they just get
positives outweigh the negatives when it comes to one of the players doing it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. But it's obviously there's obviously something really, really stopping them. The Blackpool player came out.
He's a kid, isn't he? Like,
yeah. And then Simon Jordan had a big go about it, didn't they?
I don't know.
Said we didn't need to know on TalkSport. Like, why did that have to be announcement have to be made? And I was like, oh, listen to you.
Was he trying to be like progressive and be like, it's so normal, it shouldn't need to be
No,
made?
he wasn't. He was kind of being a bit nasty.
Right.
Like
the old I keep it behind closed doors.
Yeah,
right,
he was just like, he was
like
a bit.
That? Oh, God.
But that's obviously there's because football obviously it's still quite old school, I presume, isn't it? I
think it must be very weird to be in that system. That squad thing as a grown man, being in these like little squads. And like having to survive and like cope with all the pressure and competition, but still be a team player, and it must be quite difficult. Like,
yeah, I suppose a lot of the managers are still a bit old school. There's still managers of certain ages that probably are a bit anti.
But everything just gets handed down, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? In an environment like that,
yeah,
in that whole squad thing, like the behaviour's always like your job when you get there is to fit in to the way it's always been, and that's how it carries on for so long, isn't it? Like,
yeah, but it is weird that there hasn't been like. I presume when one comes out, it'll be like a domino effect.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But I just don't understand why Gary Lineker knows, and why did he have to come out and say that he knows? He's a twat, isn't he, Gary Lineker?
No, I think
he's
he
a
didn't
fucking
say
absolute
anything.
Twat.
He's given us something to talk about.
Yeah, him being a twat. I never realised it when he was a footballer, but that he was such a knob until like he started presenting.
I don't mind him. Why do you hate him so much?
He's too preachy, like on Twitter and things like that. He sticks his nose into things, and he seems to like have a say on every like event that's happened, and like he's ultra left, which is fine. But like it's like anything happens, we all have to hear about what Gary Lineker thinks of it, and it's like, but it's nothing to do with it.
He deletes tweets quite often.
So he's always talking about things on Twitter that
because he said, do you remember last year when he said he knows what footballers are going through with racism because he was racially abused as a young footballer himself.
Don't you remember that?
Who's this?
Gary Lineker.
No, I thought you talking. I thought, am I confused? Who was racially
He got
abused?
racially
Gary
abused
Because
as a kid.
He said he had a suntan, basically.
Yeah, he was racially abused as a kid and a young footballer quite a lot, and he knows what he's felt racism, and he knows what it's like, and he knows that it's horrible. And I was like, I'm sorry, but like
That's not.
I just see that's what I mean. It's this kind of like, well, don't forget about me. I've experienced racism too.
I know what it's like.
And it's like, wait, I don't think you have, like, not really. Mostly because you're white. The white guy, isn't he? He's a white guy. Like, I've never ever. He is quite like dark skinned, I suppose, isn't he? But
Just got a tan.
It's a tan, isn't it? You're like
Nothing
when
I
he grew up in Leicester, like
yeah.
he's like tanned enough to.
But I've never, even as a kid growing up and everything, I've never ever looked at him, and I've never thought, oh, is he like mixed race or something?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
is
No,
he,
I've never thought it.
No,
I've
no,
never heard this and never thought it.
no one has. That's what I mean. He kind of had to sort of put himself in that as well. Like, oh, I've experienced it too, and it's like you haven't. Like,
Yeah, just saying it's bad is good enough. Like, you know.
Yeah. I don't agree with it, and that's fine. Like, you know, you're against
also
it.
feel
That's
the pain.
absolutely fine. But then to say, oh yeah, I felt it too, because I was racially abused at school and everything. I didn't
Doesn't
believe.
sound believable that a child would get racially abused no matter how many times he said to his bullies, "I'm white," though. They were like, "Yeah, whatever."
You can't be.
As if you're white, Gary Lineker.
With a name like that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Gary Lineker.
Yeah.